Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we have a 1 vs 1 on battle marshes. Over in the Chaos corner we've got Mad number 6567, and over in the Imperial Fist corner we have got TheLaughingMax. Speaking of TheLaughingMax, I'm joined by the one and only LaughingMax. How are you doing, young man?
Hi, I'm doing fine. I'm a little interested to see a game of me casted here on your channel. But yeah, at least I can tell you what my thought process was.
Exactly, we can see the method to the madness as we go on in this game. Currently we've got some cultists coming up from the Chaos Space Marine side, some raptors as well, just for good measure. And what's going on around your end of the base?
Yeah, so actually I could have anticipated Raptor opener. I was actually not, because this map, Battle Marshes, is known for jump troops. My idea was to get this Tech Marine, which is now ominously moving away from my base to build a forward turret while I just build up my base. But you will see in a second that as soon as the raptors are out, they will do annoying raptor stuffs.
Ah yes, no one ever wants to deal with that early raptor harass, and this map is ideal for raptor nonsenses. There's lots of bits to jump over, especially during these relic points in the corners. Absolutely lethal if you get some less mobile infantry stuck in there. Raptors are able to get in and out, no man's business. Going to decap one of your strategic points over yonder with some cultists in tow.
Yeah, this was really bad by me. I had enough resources and I saw them and was trying to click as hard as I can to build a listening post to prevent that, but yeah, I was too slow. So he gets the decap. Is he? Yeah, he's getting over the cap with the cultists. Very nicely done. So you can have the raptors free. But there is, how you call it, Vin Diesel.
Oh yes.
So he wants to have a talk with them now. And on the other side, you see the heavy bolter turret already on the works, attacking the listening posts of Chaos. So this was my idea, to deny this listening post here.
Ah, that's quite some range of the heavy bolter turret, and I imagine that this heretic won't be able to will be able to out DPS the damage doing to this listening post, but it's going to be a constant annoyance. The heretic will have to stay there for the entirety of the rest of the match if he wants to keep that listening post online. While that's going on, the raptors are jumping in, going to be slapped around by Vin Diesel there, and his marvellous looking mace, supported by some siege marines and a tech marine for good measure. Raptor's going to jump out over there, see if they can harass the tech marine building up this listening post over on the right hand side of the map. But Vin Diesel is not going to take it lying down. For family, for fortune, he will defend his tech marines whatever the cost may be.
Yeah, and Imperial Fist is actually one of the factions where Raptor Res is not as great. As you can see, the Tech Marine is just like not dying, and he has a flamer and can defend himself pretty well. So yeah, and as you said, the listening post on the other side is finished, but it needs to be constantly repaired, which will drain some resources. On the map part, I get my siege marines now to get the point, but there are again these annoying raptors hitting me with their chainsaws. But we will see. Will I finish the cap? Will they decap? I think they will decap, but it will cost them a few models, I think.
I was going to say, keeping on top of that raptor ass is really, really annoying, especially when you've got some action going on the other side of the map. Quite a lot of times people like to, like you say, spam click their listing post on these strategic points to try and prevent them from being decapped. But while this is going on this side and the raptors being chased away with the morale being broken, you've got some siege marines fighting fisticuffs with these cultists. A listing post has gone onto that relic, but these siege marines bashing these cultists around with their shields and whatnot. No melee weapons required. Some do say that the best offense is a good defense.
So this, yeah, now maybe starts a little stalemate. Yeah, some action on the outer parts. I get my point. We need to look what actually Number is doing, because he knows what he's doing. He is like the number one on the ladder already. He goes for Chaos Lord, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Really light tier 1, only raptors and some cultists, and now the Chaos Lord. So I expect a good timed tier 2 from him.
I was going to say, I mean, he's upgraded a lot of his listing posts to tier 2. Currently at the moment he's at 110 blue money to 10 green money, compared to your 73 blue money and 20 green money. So definite economic advance for the Chaos Space Marine side, but you are going for tier 2 just a little bit before the Chaos player, I do imagine. Chaos going to go for an extra plasma generator just to help with his green economy. Space Marine's now out next to this heavy bolter turret. And this Heretic is doing a really good job keeping this listing post online at the moment. Chaos Lord going to move over onto this side, see if he can push this Tech Marine away. Does a fair bit of damage at range, to be honest, but these Space Marines are probably going to do a little bit of damage in return.
Yeah, you pointed it out correctly. He got 4 more economy builds, so he attacks later. So I more or less taking a quick tier 2, and let's see what I go for.
Absolutely. Cultist returning to the base, getting a little bit homesick, not wanting to keep out of the base for too long. I mean, they have lost. I don't know. Have they lost their raptors? Are the raptors still knocking about?
He has lost quite a lot of models in his last decap, but I haven't noticed them going down actually, but I don't see them anywhere.
No, I was going to say, so he must have lost them at some point. He's going to go for tier 2 at the moment, and I imagine that he's keeping his cultists back just a little bit, just in case you go for any sort of aggressive players. You are going to go towards his relic and slap around his listing post ever so slightly. Chaos Lord is going to come round with his amazing super balls of fire on his backpack. We'll see if they can push your green marines off.
Surely will. I try to get them away, let's see. Or at least I position them differently, but this Chaos Lord will just mince them or just shoot at them. It's probably the better choice. Standing here, if I want to run away, he will attack me. But I'm tier 2 now. I have a heavy armor fortification for some vehicles. I upgraded the turret to an autocannon, so now it will actually do some building damage. You can see that the listening post on the other side now taking a beating.
Oh god, that is a lot of damage. Jesus. Reduced fire rate, but by god, that's certainly going to out DPS that Heretic who's been dancing all night long trying to keep that listing post up and ready. You do have some Siege Marines and some Space Marines, as well as Vin Diesel himself, to capitalise on that listing post the moment that goes down. Ooh, but just now a Fawn Princess has spawned, which is a wonderful looking model. Let's just have a quick ganders at her. Being equipped with... Yeah, she's going to go for some Sisters of Slaughter. Very anime-looking model, as she is. I don't know if you ever played Dungeon Master, but they always remind me of the leather-clad mistresses in that game.
There's a little backstory to this character. It was said that it is actually an anime character. It was that if the Alpha Legion guys will keep on insisting that Alpha Legion will be added, then this anime character will be added instead, and there you have it.
Excellent, there we go. So a little bit of anime, and who doesn't like anime apart from most normal, sensible people? Although, mind you, all your Space Marines over on the left-hand side have got absolutely wiped out over there. Heavy Bolter Turret is on its way out. Tech Marine has been slapped down as well, so dear oh dear, that's quite the reverse push from the Chaos Space Marine perspective.
Yes, if you notice that the Sisters of Slaughter all start with the plasma pistol, I don't know if you need to research it or they have it already. It is really, really sick, and the Havoc squad has already arrived. The Chaos Havoc Marine squad is really, really expensive. It's over 300 requisition to get one, and the reinforcement is also not cheap, but god, they pack a punch. Speaking of punch, I have now built 2 Mark 1 Razorbacks on the other side and punching through listening posts and everything, basically, with those guys.
Absolutely, those Razorback Mark 1s don't mess around when it comes to bashing up the buildings. Although against these Havocs, they are taking a fair beating themselves, but then again, in saying that, taking a couple of las cannons and plasma guns to the face and absolutely wipe out that Havoc Marine squad. And like you say, those guys do not come cheap, so that's going to be a real setback for the Chaos Space Marine player. But this Chaos Lord, not giving up one iota, will just slap the backside of these Razorbacks all day long.
Yeah, you can see these Razorbacks Mark 1 were already really strong. They got nerfed a bit, but still maybe are a bit on the stronger side, but they got their cost increased as well, so it's not as cheap to get them. They are still limited at 3 maximum. I go for the maximum of 3, and yeah, my goal here more or less is buying time to get to tier 3. Basically, I have to tell you, I randomed Imperial Fists, and I don't know really what to go for in tier 2 for them, so that's my goal, a quick tier 3, and as we speak, I clicked the tier 3 button now.
Excellent. I mean, for the boys and girls watching at home, if you don't know what to do, just spam one decent unit that you know and hope for the best. You've got 2 Razorbacks that are very close to death, managing to keep them online for a little bit longer, destroying almost all the plasma generators. We do have a heavy bottle turret smack bang in the middle of the Chaos Space Marine base, going to be being upgrading itself with some missile turrets and whatnot. We've got a whole Iconoclast Zealots squad on the way as well. These ladies might be able to bash your Mark 1s quick, sharp as you like. There you go, 2 of them going down. Only 1 more left to defend itself.
Yeah, so this was now, do I run away or do I try to kill this freaking Chaos Armory? I try to kill it and then try to drive away, but yeah, I don't think this will be, they will not return.
That is very unfortunate, but then again, I mean, when you consider that it took about 3 plasma generators to upgrade the listing post and the Chaos Armory, they certainly paid for themselves in the long run. But now that you've got no more Razorbacks, what's sorry, can't speak today. What's your plan from this point onwards?
Yeah, this was, you may see me now floating like I have 700 requisition and 250 power. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, really in this situation. So I'm fortifying my position, as Imperial Fists like to do. On the left side, I have a listening post with the last cannon upgraded. I have 2 heavy bolter turrets, both with auto cannon upgraded as well, and now fortifying on the right side as well, as I'm hitting tier 3 now. So my idea was, I think, getting a Predator Executioner out, one of the strongest unit Imperial Fists in tier 3 have as well. So my goal was survive. And there you see the Predator Executioner is on the way, got a full Havoc squad. The Iconoclast Zealots with the Thorn Princes are here, out for vengeance. So this is gonna be a little close.
It's going to be a tricky situation, absolutely, including the fact that now the Chaos player has got control of both of the relics, so they've got a little bit more of an economic advantage, 103 and 60 compared to 92 and 10. Actually, no, never mind that. You've definitely got the green money advantage in this game. Predator Executioner nearly out on its way. Does not look like these guys will be able to take out the heavy armor fortification before that unit pops. Although, again, saying that, it's going to be certainly a close one. On the edge of our seat, will it pop? Just manages to pop.
It will. There you have it.
Absolutely booming everyone out of the way. Going to run away there, not wanting to stay for much longer without any support. Does somebody teleporting in just outside your Hand of Dawn by looks of things.
Yes, they're the big armor boys. I forgot the name, Centurions. So these are really good as well, but you see the Predator Executioner is one of the strongest anti-infantry units you have. It also got nerfed, you know, but it's still strong. It should be still strong, as it's the only purpose. It's really bad against vehicles.
I was going to say, like, I can't imagine that being any stronger, because I mean, that was 1 volley from the Predator Executioner, and one of the most intense units, the Iconoclast Zealots, for the Chaos perspective, absolutely annihilated. And these girls, I mean, at the moment they've only got about 4 models in their unit, already 3,500 health. So, Jesus, that's a lot of damage that those guys are able to pack out.
Yeah, so I get. Yeah, like as I said before, like I am thinking, what unit can I go? So I thought some good old infantry would be good. On the other side, we have now a machine pit for Mad. Mad also has Mad is the clan. Number built the machine pit, rebuilds the generators, so all the damage inflicted are almost returned. But it bought me enough time, as you saw, that I'm tech-wise at least ahead. I don't think he's tier 3 yet.
Yeah, you've managed to get some serious units out, and what I imagine that number 65, 67 is planning to do now is probably transition away from infantry and maybe go for some more heavier tools to play with. I mean, after seeing two of the Chaos's strongest infantry units being absolutely wiped out by 1 volley, you may as well just use these ladies to harass around the flanks and stay away from that Predator. Going to chase away these siege marines, trying to prevent them from decapping this critical location. Mad is currently on that critical location victory run, although how long he'll be able to keep this, who knows. Got to go for another Razorback Mark 1. A little bit hemmed in by these heavy bolter turrets, a little bit of a parking issue here, but I'm sure you will be able to break out sometime soon.
I'm not trying to break out here. It's all holding on this side. But yeah, you mentioned the Siege Marines going for the decap. There was a little misplay by number. He didn't saw one model that got reinforced, so I got the decap and stopped the victory countdown.
Excellent.
So my idea is to have the left side defended. Like I will not move here and keep on harassing on the other side. Especially now that I see the Sister of Slaughter on the left side, I'm like, oh yeah, now go on the other side.
We do have a Hell Talon now chasing around your Predator Executioner, which I imagine that your Executioner won't be all that ideal against the Hell Talon. And we do have your Centurions, and they've got a wonderful, or they had sort of a flag on them. Hiding underneath the trees, the guy holding the Imperial Fist banner on high. That's a wonderful rendered banner over there. Really, really like the detail on that.
Yeah, that's the banner bearer. That's a commander unit you can add. Increases the DPS of a squad, and the Centurions already have quite a high DPS value. Yeah, and now we see another thing going for the Imperial Fist. You have now a Harris of the Hell Talon. The Hell Talon got better in this version as most players, vanilla players. They now taken a course on how to shoot the last cannon downwards, and they can now shoot the last cannon on ground target. But yeah, I got my Razorbacks here and also my Heckman here with quick repair, and will take it down. If it would have flown a little bit more to the south, there is also the listening post with less cannons, so vehicles are normally not the way to deal with Imperial Fists. But yeah, you already also saw what a Predator Executioner can deal with, so it's really hard to crack these Imperial Fists guys, these banana boys that are kind of randomed in green for me here.
I mean, I imagine that with the name of your starting unit being Siege Marines, probably very, very difficult to crack them when they're being defensive. I imagine what the Chaos player should be doing at the moment is building up as much of a force as humanly possible, specifically an anti-vehicle force at the moment, because there's a lot of Razorback Mark 1s to deal with. Has gone for a Chaos Predator, firing some green sludge towards these lads, but will it be enough to push back the Imperial Fist onslaught?
And if it's not him, will be the Havoc Marines that are standing there getting some missile launchers. Predator at least is very tanky and can tank some damage, while I miss-micro my Predator Executioner to fire at buildings and vehicles, all the while they get taken down at least one, and the Razorbacks as well, so yeah.
That's it. It does seem that your tank squadron has been harried somewhat. I mean, the iconoclast zealots, say that again 10 times fast, almost been taken out, but these Havocs are really causing some havoc, on your tank forces. Chaos Predator almost going down. He might want to pull that back just a little bit just to repair it. These aren't cheap units to repair, but while this is going on the left flank, on the right flank you have got your Devastator Centurions moving in with some more green flashy bits, and going to be slowly but surely whittling down this listening post.
Yeah, this green thing is the Graviton gun. Thank God that the sound has been tuned down in the previous version. Yeah, now we would have been like completely don't hear our voice. Yeah, one thing about the Chaos Predator, as you said, that it spews some green stuff. You have now 6 or 5 weapon loadouts you can choose from, various depending on the tiers. So this was the anti-infantry thing, Nurgle thing. But on the right side you see my Devastator Centurions, now some Assault Terminators coming in as well. These guys are no joke in melee, so I run with them in melee, have my Centurions to support them here, and just again buying me some time, because you might see on my rebuild heavy armor fortification that I'm tier 4 already and go by now the bygone era relics, which will in turn allow me to get some tier 1 titans out.
Excellent stuff, some big walkers for some big plays. At the moment your Assault Siege Terminator squads are doing a very good job at keeping these Havoc Marines on the move. To be honest, these Terminators are a lot quicker than I would have originally anticipated. Very, very speedy boys. Will be wiped out at the moment, but like you say, these guys are just keeping these guys occupied while you try to get your Titans out.
Yeah, and just to get a misunderstanding, the Titans for Imperial Fists are not Titans because Imperial Fists likes tanks. It is just giant tanks for you. They are Titan class in the way the cost and the damage level is. And I'm getting for one the glaive. There's like three similar looking tanks there, and I just what unit do I go? This looks good. Click. Because I'm not really good at Imperial Fists, so and I think I got lucky and chose the right one in the end.
And indeed, I imagine that you have these Devastators, Centurions, looking a little bit worse for wear at the moment. These Havocs have managed to get a good shooting firing range on them. Even the heavy cover won't keep these guys alive. Iconoclast Zealots managing to tie them up in close combat. Heavy Bottle Turret on its way out. So yeah, there's quite a serious force making its way towards your base at the moment. Only Devastators online at the moment. You are going for some plasma cannons. But the glaive is about to pop, and I imagine that this glaive will be able to take care of a couple of mischievous Havocs and these Zealots.
There you go. Full defense mode again with Devastators, with plasma cannons. The hit, sadly, the shot was not hitting, but here you see the glaive.
Ooh. That's beautiful.
Yeah. 10,000 HP.
I love that. He sees the glaive and says, you know what, GG, I've had enough of this. That unit is too big of a boy for me to deal with. Look at that gun on the front of it, though. That's some, like, almost heretical Tau nonsense there.
Yeah, it's a walk-tight cannon, and you have also, like, less cannons on the side, and for all good measure, like a flamer or melter guy on top, because why not?
Yeah, I'm loving these rings that are around the firing arc of this glaive as well. It's very, it's just lost for words as always with all the models in Unification. Just really well done to all the boys who make, well, boys and girls who go about making these models. Fantastic job. Okay, cool. So that is that. I think that concludes our match. Max, would you like to give us a rundown on what you do on your channel?
Yeah, surely. I'm also doing like a lot of casts. You will see a cast every week from Unification on my channel. I am currently doing also a Let's Play of the new campaign in German, though. I do guides. I have a format also that's called Bro Up, where I invite some guys from the Unification community, like developers or like other community members doing good stuff. Yeah, and also a lot of more German content if you're like a German speaker.
And I will have to say that I do highly recommend, if you haven't seen LaughingMax's little interview games, absolutely amazing stuff. It's really cool to see the behind the scenes of the Unification guys, because they're all really interesting, from the backgrounds to what they do on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, definitely check that out. Anyway, cool. Thank you ever so much for joining us, LaughingMax, as always. My name's been Mr. Landshark. I'll see you in a bit. Peace.
Bye-bye.